Hi. Hello,
Hi,
Eva.
hi, Artūrs. Hi, glad to see you here today. And hi, everybody who joins us in live recording and who will see us in recording after this live session. We are here for RIGA COMM business conference and fair podcast together with our participants and also with our panelists. And my name is Ieva Drazniece. I'm LinkedIn strategy partner for businesses and professionals, and really glad to greet my co-host, my guest, Artūrs from Elva today. Hi, Artūrs.
Hello. I guess a small introduction about me and Elva is necessary right now.
That
Um,
would be great.
yes. I work in a company called Elva, and what we provide is different solutions for business management. So, on one hand, those would be classic ERP systems, so enterprise resource management and planning systems. Then we have our own product, which we call Panorama 365, which is an employee self-service solution, which I will go into that in more detail later. And then we also have some analysis tools for business intelligence, such as Power BI, that provide data analysis and so on. And what we try to do in Elva is we try to be this sort of one-stop shop for clients. So if you want to build a complete system for yourself, for your company, for your management, we offer all the necessary tools, or we can also offer like one specific tool to you. So that's kind of the main idea and philosophy that we try to follow. So
Thank you. Artūrs, I feel it's a great responsibility to support businesses on all their efforts and creating all those solutions, what you do in Elva. But one angle is specifically interesting for me, and I know that for RIGACOM visitors, it will be relevant as well, because you will share more on this employee engagement angle. And what I'm curious to learn is, how do you feel, why it is important in general to work on those processes to raise awareness of engagement, and that it's important for the companies and important for the employees. What's your take on that?
So if we look at the bigger picture, so the classic ERP systems, those are usually where all the data is stored. But they are very limited access. It's usually your top level accountants, your top level HR, and maybe some other limited very people have access to that information. The problem is that we need that information to be shared with other people, right? A simple
Yeah.
example would be, let's say you want to make an absence request. You want to request vacation, right? So before you make that request, you need to know if you have enough accumulation for the vacation that you want to make request for, right?
Yeah.
Traditionally, if we go back to paper days, you have to call your accountant, ask, hey, do I have enough accumulation? Then he would need to recalculate that, and then he could give you an answer. That's back in
Yeah.
the paper days. Right nowadays,
That used to
yeah,
be quite a lot of manual work indeed.
yeah. Right now we have the ERP system that calculates that for you, but it's only limited access to the accountant, so you still need to call your accountant, right? But what we do with the self service, basically we try to connect to the ERP system, receive all the data that it has, at least some of the data, and then in Panorama we create something like roles and permissions, and let's say regular employees are allowed to see their own accumulation for their vacations. Regular employees are allowed to make these number of requests, and so the employees, when they log into to self-service, they see all of that data and can interact with it. So that's just a basic example why we would want to have that, because information is key, and information access is also a very important thing, because let's say the most often used tool is Excel spreadsheets, right? For individual use, it's
Yeah.
fine. I have my Excel, but like half of the data I can't show to anyone else because I'm allowed to see it, but the other people are not allowed to see it. So I have to create another Excel just to send it to them, right? So that's the point. with self-service portal, we try to solve this issue where we have a system based on permissions that
Yeah.
automates, like that distributes data. That's the basis of it. So that we try to solve this problem, and after that it comes like all sorts of different other things like building customized approval flows and so on. So
But
there's a lot that we have developed over the years. So
what I hear is that actually using those systems customized for the company and customized for the people working in company actually allows to optimize resources greatly, right?
yes. So how we usually do the implementation of a product like this, we start
Yeah.
with the diagnostics phase, at least for, I mean, some standardized case where we show to the client the standard and he says, oh, we don't need anything else. We'll use the standard. We can run out or do without diagnostics. But normally
Yeah.
for like more elaborate companies, we go through a diagnostics phase. So we go through all the different like scenarios that they have. Like we go through like, okay, how do you approve your absences? How do you approve your business trips? How do you do that? How do you do 20 other things? We go through all of those, and then we try to understand how we can best use our system, the standard that we already have, or in a lot of cases we also go the extra mile to create a custom solution for the to expand on our standard as well, to create new solutions. Like a good example was last year I was
Yeah.
kind of reviewing our absence requests, and it's like, oh, we have added so many things, so many different small nuances. Like, there's nothing much to add. And then we received a couple of clients who said, but it would be nice to have this extra functionality, this extra check, this extra small thing. And it's like, and now we have like 5 things more for that. And so it keeps on expanding. So pretty much the self-service portal, like the main driving force for its development are the clients. So the clients come to us and say, hey, we have this specific problem. We need this like specific thing that we want to automate. Like, can you help us with self-service? And if it makes sense, we then include that in standard also for our upcoming clients to have as a standard functionality. So that's
It's
good.
more like a demand created solution, right?
Yes, basically that's what it is. I mean, for some things we try to also look ahead, so where it's like we analyze, this would make sense, in the future.
Yeah.
So as some examples would be, let's say like approval of bills. Like we will have electronic bills in the future. So let's say we want to create a customized approval flow for those, so that we can, let's say you have a supplier provides you with a bill for some services, and then you
Yeah.
have like a specific approval flow for specific bills, right? That need to go through approval before they get paid and so on. So that's the sort of a thing we try to like look, okay, in the future we need to be prepared for that. Also, some clients already asked about that because they know in the upcoming years it's like electronic billing will be like a huge, a lot bigger than it is right now. So we try to be prepared for stuff in the future as well.
So what I hear is that it's actually two-way road.
Mhm.
One way is that clients come to you with a demand. The other way is that you already proactively
Mhm.
see the trends. You already create the solutions and you update your clients on something, on some new opportunities, some new features. This
Yes.
proactive approach is really common for Elva, right?
Yes. Also, during the implementation phase, I'm one of the people who, like, since I have gone through the diagnostics phase, I know the needs of the client. But I also
Mhm.
try to teach the client, hey, this is what our system can do. Other things that you might have not thought about, but you can create some more elaborate approval flows. Let's say that's a good example because
Mhm.
for general vacation you might have a simple approval flow, right? But for business trips you want to actually have like a more complex one because it involves cost reimbursements and it's company money, and so you want to have like a more elaborate approval process for those types of requests. But it's not just absence. It's all sorts of different requests. We have like tools for, let's say, onboarding, offboarding, for employee goals, for employee evaluation, for employee surveying. So we have all these sort of small tools that we could use, and then I try to teach our clients how, hey, this is how you can use it. Maybe you have like a scenario in the future where you might use it. So we
That's
also try to teach and prepare them for different business scenarios.
what I hear and what I see from different companies I've been in contact, that actually the businesses are looking for not only the solution partners but business partners. And what I hear from you is that you already step in the shoes of your clients and think as their business partners. What can be useful for tomorrow and a year from now, and should we implement it now, should we develop it now? It's more like being really close, shoulder to shoulder partnership, what you offer to your clients. Is it right?
Yeah, that's also tied to our like core philosophy, like this being this one-stop shop, right?
True.
It's like also we try to do it on like a macro scale, like DRP, self-service, and like, let's say, Power BI, but we
Mhm.
also try to be that like one-stop system for in as Panorama, right? Because
Mhm.
if you look at the market of the technologies that are available, you could find like small, unique, like single-use systems for all of the things that I mentioned, like for absence
Mhm.
requests, for onboarding, offboarding, for goals and evaluation. You can have single-use tools, but what we try to build with Panorama is that unifying all of those tools into a single system, so that like the employees don't have like 5 different logins for different systems. So they basically log into Panorama and they have access to all of those things. So it's like a unified system. That's how also we try to approach Panorama development. And we try to build this sort of business environment where, okay, employees can do a lot of things and like automate a lot of processes. Like, yeah.
I think employees truly appreciate the employer who has, developed those systems using Elva services. That for example, when I meet my friend, she works in one of the retail stores, and she is working at the counter. Giving me the products and receiving money from me, and I ask her, what time will you finish your work? And she says, officially at 11, but then I will don't know how much I will have to do this and that and this. And I think when somebody comes to work and they want to engage professionally on the tasks they are required, that those extra things you have to add on top, because like you said, 5 Excel sheets, this and that and this and that, it's really makes different, productivity as well for the employees, and they have more time to focus on really work they are hired for and results they've been demanded. So I think this system is really something very, very useful for the companies and also for employees. Maybe, yeah,
Um,
some comments on that as well from you.
yes. Well, mainly, the productivity thing, it comes down to like information transfer. And I'll use another example. Let's say timesheets, so time
Yeah.
planning. The most common tool is Excel. Like, if you have like a manufacturing company, you have like, let's say, 5 different departments. Each of those department leaders will have their own Excel sheet where they plan for their employees. The problem is once you want to like share data between that, like you or maybe your top level accountant wants to see all the plans. He has to request like 5 different Excel sheets, right? And then like put them together to see the whole picture. That's the biggest issue with Excel, and oftentimes with other systems where you can't transfer data easily. And also in
Mhm.
Panorama, we try to like this is a good example, like the time planning. So I have the time planning functionality. Like, if my employees make some absence request, that gets already put in the time schedule, right? I don't have to
Mhm.
like put it manually. Once the request is made, it's
Okay.
already pops up, right?
Mhm.
When let's say at this moment I make some edits to my plan, if
Mhm.
other people who have access to view my plan, let's say my accountant, right? He opens up
Mhm.
my plan and he sees the same thing that I see right now. Like I
Mhm.
don't have to send an Excel file to him. I don't have to do anything extra. I just press save for my actual plan and he sees that. And this sort of quicker information transfer is like
Yeah.
it improves productivity a lot. So, and this is where
Mm.
oftentimes like what you said with the Excel sheets, like, yeah, I have to prepare like additional Excel that I need to send
Yeah.
off somewhere. I don't know how long that will take me after work, right? Here,
Yeah.
if I have input the information, it's already in the system, and those people who are allowed to see it, they have access to it. So it improves on productivity in aspects like this, and it kind of
Mhm.
works across all of the things like requests and like time planning is the most obvious one because that's a huge pain point for a lot of
Yeah.
companies. Especially when you're short staffed and you need to see like another department to see if there are people available, who's available, who can come help me with some work, right? So this instantaneous data transfer and visibility is what improves productivity a lot. So, but there's
That's
still like a lot of things that we need to improve
yeah.
to like, because Excel with analytics and stuff that Excel provides, like Excel is it's extremely difficult to mimic that because it's a powerful tool. It has been in development for like 20-30 years, and there's so many features that we like, people ask like when you will add something like this to Panorama, it's like, oh man, it's like never ending development. But but the biggest pain point of Excel is which is what I mentioned, like the data transfer, like that's that issue. That's the one thing we have currently solved, and so we try to improve on the other functionality for time planning and so on. So
What I'm curious now, Arturs, is would you give us a short hints? What are you gonna talk about in RIGA COMM conference? Because I know we will meet you on October 3 on HR Tech conference stage with your panel. What it's gonna be? Don't share us everything, but just small hints.
so it's it's at least it's called 5 strategies to boost employee engagement, HR solutions that make a difference. So that's what it's called. And what I'll share there are some of the insights that I have gained through diagnostics phase. When I look back at the implementations that we have implemented Panorama in like, let's say, a single company in a single country, in a company group that like has multiple companies in a single country. We have implemented in pan-Baltic projects where it's like all 3 Baltic countries. And
Mhm.
all of those projects, there are more successful projects, and there are less successful projects because they take more time, to implement. And,
Mhm.
and what I'll share are some of the key things, how to like plan for this sort of digitalization event, how to actually like plan for different processes, how to analyze that, how to, what are the things that you need to um, look into to be successful, more successful in these sort of events, how to like build those systems which I mentioned,
Yeah.
how to implement things like that, how to automate your processes. So, and the reason why it's important is, I mean, employees right now, it's good to be employee right now because there's a shortage of employees pretty much everywhere. So employees have a lot of power right now. So if you don't actively think of how to automate, how to like cut out like meaningless work as an
Mhm.
employer, like there will be someone else who does that, and like as an employee, I might not want to stick with your company if you don't do that. If you don't actively like
Sure.
try to make work day better. If I have to do meaningless tasks, if I have to do like you know manual paperwork that can be like done by computer, like I might not stick with your company. Or that's just one example. It's employee retention. It's also
Yeah.
building productivity, because if we spend less time on the meaningless tasks, we have more energy and more time for the things that matter, right? So we can be more productive in that sense. And also, I mean, at the same time, I have seen people who love doing meaningless tasks. So for them, this is probably a big problem. Learning new digital skills. But then again, for the future, I think it makes more sense to automate these sort of things and like to to build systems like this that help people. Because
To
in
stay to stay in competitive edge, both for
yeah,
you as a company as well for you as an employee, choosing the right company for you.
but it's not just about like competitive edge against like other companies. It's also like to improve our own like work environment. Like it's just when I don't have like a ton of meaningless tasks, like repetitive tasks, then it's like it just helps the mood as well. At least for when you automate stuff like that. So did something happen to the a small glitch?
I'm back again. Arturs, I want to appreciate you for this time together this morning in this conversation. And what's the best way to reach you and Elva till the
um
RIGA COMM event?
So it's best probably to go to Elva website, which is elva.lv, and there's plenty of information about the different products that we said. And so there's also contact information for our sales team, who are very knowledgeable about all our products and who can like help set up the different things uh, when it comes to like practical information. And I guess also you can try to follow on LinkedIn and on some social profiles, but I'm probably I didn't do a good job at providing the links currently, but
No, we can
oh,
invite everybody to meet at Elva's homepage as well as Elva's LinkedIn profile. So it's good.
yes, yeah, those
Great.
two, those two. And also in Riga Com, I think we'll have a small booth as well, so where you can actually meet in person. So not just see my panel, and you can meet my colleagues if you have like actual questions regarding business solutions. So they'll be happy to meet up and to provide information. So
Amazing. Amazing.
mhm,
Thank you, Arturs, and thank you everybody who had the chance to join us live and who will see us in recording. And see you in the
mhm.
next live coming up shortly today. And see you soon in Riga Com, which takes place in October 3 and 4 here in Riga. Bye.
See you. Bye.